Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Hope you are enjoying all my videos. Now let's start with test 3. Question number 1. A supply chain manager wants to increase the number and geographic locations of warehouses. Which of the following changes would be the most likely overall benefit to the supply chain? Option A. Less variability in order size, bullwhip effect. Option B. Decrease in the overall amount of stored inventory. Option C. Reduction of delivery time to retail outlets. Option D. Reduced warehouse space needed for a given inventory amount. Now let's evaluate option A. Variability in order size is due to fluctuation in demand. Therefore, increasing number of warehouses will not have any impact on the order size. This is entirely wrong choice. Now let's proceed to option B, which says decrease in the overall amount of stored inventory. Let's suppose, I want to give you an example here. Let's suppose initially you had 4 warehouses in Los Angeles and you used to manufacture and distribute 100,000 pieces among them as per the market demand. Okay. Now each warehouse used to receive 25,000 pieces. Now you have increased the number of warehouses to 5, but the demand is the same. Therefore, now you are going to distribute 100,000 pieces among 5 of them. Each warehouse will have a share of 20,000 pieces. Please do not assume that company is increasing number of warehouses due to increase in demand unless it is specifically mentioned in the question. Therefore, this is not an appropriate answer for this question. Now let's evaluate option C, reduction of delivery time to retail outlets. Now let's suppose there are 100 retailers in a 1000 kilometer radius and you have one warehouse to feed them all. Okay, adding one more warehouse in the same radius will result in reduction in delivery time to retail outlets, since 2 warehouses will be feeding those 100 retailers now instead of 1. As a result, time to retail outlets will be reduced. Delivery time to retail outlets will be reduced. This is the correct answer. Now let's see what we have in option D, reduced warehouse space needed for a given inventory amount. How can you increase number of warehouses if you want to have reduced warehouse space? This is completely irrelevant statement. Question 2. Which of the following variables differentiates supply chains in terms of efficiency and responsiveness? Option A, demand uncertainty and volume. Option B, demand levels and number of suppliers. Option C, volume and quality. Option D, volume and variety. Let's evaluate option A, demand uncertainty and volume. Before we begin, we should be knowing that the difference between efficiency and responsiveness. Efficiency is using your resources in a best possible manner to have maximum output. You focus on efficiency when you have a functional product which has a long product life cycle and a stable demand like bread, butter, and eggs. Whereas responsiveness is used for innovative products which are in their introductory or growth stage. Responsiveness refers to the speed with which a supply chain provides products and services to the customer. Now let's take an example of an innovative product. Let's say we have launched a special ice cream which makes children smarter. What will happen when you will introduce this product in the market? Nevertheless to say, you will be uncertain about the demand and the volume. Now, in order to overcome uncertain demand and volume, you will have to be responsive and not efficient. Therefore, demand uncertainty and volume are the 2 major factors which differentiates supply chains in terms of efficiency and responsiveness. And this is the correct answer. Let's evaluate other options as well. Option B, demand levels and number of suppliers. Okay, demand levels can differentiate between efficiency and responsiveness, but number of suppliers has nothing to do with efficiency and responsiveness. If you have a few stable suppliers of raw material which are catering to your demand, then having 1,000 suppliers cannot help you increase efficiency or responsiveness of a supply chain. This is the wrong answer. Okay, option C, volume and quality. Yes. Volume can definitely differentiate between efficiency and responsiveness, but quality has nothing to do with them. Focusing on efficiency or responsiveness doesn't mean that you should start increasing or decreasing the quality of your product. Therefore, option is not correct. Option D, volume and variety. Again, volume can differentiate between efficiency and responsiveness, but variety decreases both efficiency and responsiveness. So this is not the correct choice too. Option A is the correct answer, which says demand, uncertainty, and volume. Question 3. Which of the following are the attributes of an efficient supply chain? Option A, infrequent product introductions. Option B, short product life cycle. Option C, stable customer demand. Option D, only A and C. Okay, let's evaluate option A. Infrequent product introductions. Supply chains sustain efficiency when the companies refrain from frequent introductions of new products. Therefore, this can be the right answer. Option B, short product life cycle. Efficient supply chains are for functional products, okay, which have a longer life cycle. You focus on efficiency when your product is in mature stage and has a long product life cycle like bread and butter. Okay, so therefore this is not the correct choice. Let's see what we have in option C, stable customer demand. This is another attribute of an efficient supply chain. When your product has a stable demand like bread, you focus on improving efficiency. Option A and C are the true attributes of efficient supply chain. Therefore, option D is correct answer. Question 4. Which of the following is sometimes overlooked when designing a supply chain? Option A, information technology. Option B, support systems. Option C, reverse supply chain flow. Option D, inventory location and levels. Now let's evaluate option A, that says information technology. Oh yes, technology gives you a competitive edge. Therefore, this can be a right answer. Option B, support systems. It is a general made up term, so this cannot be an appropriate answer. Every system needs a support system. So, this option is here for you to laugh. Okay, let's evaluate option C, reverse supply chain flow. Now, first we should know what is reverse supply chain. Okay, it is the process of bringing goods back to the point where it can be repaired, replaced, recycled, or disposed of. Now let me give you an example. Think of a car manufacturer. What happens when something goes wrong in the newly launched car? Company is in big trouble since manufacturer has to recall all the units back to their workshop for repair or replacement. So this is the most neglected aspect that can be easily overlooked when designing a supply chain. Because of the rigorous testing before the launch, many companies believe that their product cannot be returned with a flaw in their performance. Therefore, at times they neglect reverse supply chain flow. This is the correct answer. Let's see what we have in option D, inventory location and levels. Not necessarily. Inventory location and levels can be adjusted as per the demand as and when required. So this is not the correct answer. Question 5. Organizations that have low sales volume and serve markets with more volatile demand and uncertain forecasting tend to focus on what type of manufacturing strategy? Option A, assemble to order. Option B, make to order. Option C, make to stock. Option D, none of these types. Now let's evaluate option A, assemble to order. Assemble to order strategy is used for masses who want customized products like Subway sandwiches or personal computers. Let's take an example of a personal computer. When an order is received, different components like motherboards, CD-ROM, hard drive, processor, etc. are assembled into a computer. In other words, basic ingredients of your product are available with you in stock so that you can easily assemble the final product in no time when an order is received. Since this strategy requires you to maintain certain level of stocks of different components, therefore it is not a viable strategy for a product which has low sales volume and unpredictable demand. This is not the correct answer. Now let's evaluate option B, which says make to order. There are two keywords in this question. First one is low sales volume, which simply means that you should not block your capital in building up the inventory. Low sales volume means that you should maintain a bare minimum inventory levels and produce goods when an order is received. The second keyword is volatile demand and uncertain forecasting, which represents that you are not sure when will you receive an order. Therefore, you should refrain from investing in building up inventory when in doubt. Both the factors indicate that the safest best bet is to produce or manufacture goods when an order is received. Therefore, make to order is the correct strategy for this kind of situation. Let's evaluate why the other given options are not correct. Please remember that these videos are not only about selecting the right answers, but they are about grasping the concept well so that you can ace your exam. Therefore, I would advise you to not to skip any part of my video. Let's see what we have in option C, make to stock. This is exactly the opposite of make to order strategy. We use this strategy for functional products like bread, butter and eggs, where we are producing goods for masses and demand is certain. You can easily build up the inventory as per the demand and it is relatively less risky. Okay, so this is not the correct option. Option D says none of these types. Okay, so option B is the correct answer here for this particular question. Question 6. An efficiency focused supply chain strives for which of the following? Option A, low forecasting errors, limited product variety and a long product life cycle. Option B, frequent product introductions, low forecasting errors and a short product life cycle. Option C, a long product life cycle, speedy product delivery and use of real-time data. Option D, high product variety, a long product life cycle and stable demand. Let's start with option A, low forecasting errors, limited product variety and a long product life cycle. Always remember that whenever question talks about efficiency, immediately connected to functional product like bread, butter or eggs. Before we proceed, you should know what efficiency is. Efficiency is using your resources in a best possible manner to have maximum output. Now, in order to solve this question, I would advise you to take a pause and consider yourself a bread producer. Since bread has a stable demand, therefore your forecasting errors will be low. So the first aspect of this question is matching the criteria of efficiency. Let's evaluate second aspect of this question, which says limited product variety. This is also true for efficient supply chains. When you have multiple range of products, you have to forecast and manage demand for each product line separately, which is a hassle and your efficiency goes down the drain. Whereas when you have limited variety, you can focus on smooth execution of supply chain processes. Therefore, this aspect of option A is also correct. Third aspect of option A is long product life cycle. As I said in the beginning, whenever question talks about efficiency, immediately connected to functional product. Functional products are those that are in their mature stage and have a long life cycle. So this aspect of option A is also correct. So all the attributes of option A are meeting the definition of efficiency focused supply chain. Therefore, this is the correct answer. Let's have few words on other options as well to strengthen our concepts. Option B, frequent product introductions, low forecasting errors and a short life cycle. Okay, when your product has a short life cycle and company is also introducing new products, you cannot focus on efficiency. Rather, you focus on effectiveness since your product is in introductory stage. Effectiveness means that you have to ensure that your new product is satisfying customer needs even if it is costing you a little more. Always remember that new products require time, money and efforts. Secondly, new products have a volatile demand too and it is hard to gauge it. As a result, you have high forecasting errors which are contrary to the other aspects of option B. So this cannot be the correct answer. Option C, a long product life cycle, speedy product delivery and use of real-time data. Okay, long product life cycle is true for efficiency focused supply chain. However, speedy product delivery and use of real-time data are the aspect of effectiveness and not efficiency. Always remember that we focus on cost saving when we talk about increasing efficiency. Whereas on the other hand, when we talk about effectiveness, we don't care much about the cost. Now think of an example of bread again. You are selling it for few bucks. Why would you want to invest money in a real-time data? You already know the demand and you can easily cater to it. So this is not an attribute of an efficiency focused supply chain. Let's evaluate option D. High product variety, a long product life cycle and stable demand. This one is obviously wrong since it talks about high product variety, which we have already discussed while evaluating option A. However, long product life cycle and stable demand are the characteristics of efficiency focused supply chain. But due to the presence of high product variety aspect, we cannot consider this option as correct. So, my viewers, option A is the correct answer, that says low forecasting errors, limited product variety, and a long product life cycle, which are an attribute of efficiency focused supply chain. Question 7. To better respond to unpredicted disruption, supply chains need to build in redundancy. This can be accomplished by which of the following? Option A, establishing safety stock. Option B, intentionally setting low capacity utilization. Option C, using multiple suppliers even when they are expensive. Option D, all of the above. Now let's evaluate option A, establishing safety stock. Okay, keyword in this question is unpredicted disruption. Now, let's discuss what is unpredicted disruption. As the name suggests, disruption is something which can cause your supply chain or business to halt. A classic example of unpredicted disruption is COVID-19, which has altered the way we do business. Other sources of unpredicted disruption may include political unrest, failure of delivery from suppliers, union or labor strikes, etc., etc. This option talks about establishing safety stocks, which is quite obvious that if you have a high levels of safety stock, you can easily cope up with the disruptions from suppliers' end. Okay, let's evaluate option B, intentionally setting low capacity utilization. Low capacity utilization will help you cope with the unpredicted demand. You can easily match the high demand when you have excess capacity. So low capacity utilization also helps you in overcoming unpredicted disruptions. Option C, using multiple suppliers even when they are more expensive. Okay, there is a saying that never put all your eggs in one basket, which means that you should always have multiple suppliers so that you can easily switch between them in case your regular supplier is facing any kind of disruption. You cannot halt your production or business if there is a disruption at suppliers' end. Your operations should go on. Therefore, having multiple suppliers is a good strategy to deal with the unpredicted disruptions. So all of the above actions discussed in option A, B, and C will help you to overcome unpredicted disruptions. Therefore, option D is the correct choice, which says all of the above. Question 8. An organization designs product documentation with large pictographs showing how to avoid common user errors that have previously resulted in customers believing that an otherwise good product is defective. This is an example of which of the following? Option A, simplification. Option B, standardization. Option C, design for service. Option D, design for quality. Okay, let's evaluate option A, simplification. Simplification is cutting cost and improving quality by removing complexity from a product or service. Since this question talks about educating customers, therefore this can be the right choice. Let's see what we have in other options. Option B, standardization. Standardization deals with component commonality and universality. So this is not related to the question in any sense. Let's see what we have in option D, which says option C. Okay, it's option C, which says design for service. Now, before we proceed, I would advise you to think of a split air conditioner's user manual, where you will find pictures that show how to clean the air filter of an AC. You will find similar manuals in various other household products like juicer machines, mincers, etc., which show how to clean or service the machine after use. All of these manuals are example of product documentation with large pictographs to help you avoid common user errors. And all of these products are designed for service. So this is the correct answer. Let's see what we have in option D, design for quality. Design for quality simply measures if design meets the target market need, performance, and other aspects. So this is not the relevant choice. Option C, which says design for service, is the correct answer for question number 8. Question 9. Which of the following is another name for the one size fits all type of design? Option A, component commonality. Option B, modular design. Option C, mass customization. Option D, standardization. Let's evaluate option A, component commonality. It means using identical components in your product for ease of use and operation. For example, using one particular screw size in CPU so that it can be unfastened with one screwdriver only rather than using multiple screwdrivers for different screw sizes. Another example is that of water bottles. You might have observed that there are many companies which sell water in different sizes, but the bottle cap is the same in all the bottles. This can be the right answer, but let's see what we have in other options. Option B says modular design. Modular design is a product design in which you can put together different components of a product to create variety of other similar products like IKEA furniture, modular bookshelves, computer RAMs, etc. etc. This design does not relate to one size fits all, therefore this is not the right choice. Let's see what we have in option C. It says mass customization. We have discussed it in the past as well. Mass customization is delaying final assembly of components into a final product as per customer specification or preference, like Subway sandwich or personal computer. So this is not the right choice. Let's see what we have in option D, standardization. Okay, before we evaluate this option, always remember that component commonality and universality falls under standardization, and there is a minor difference between the two. Component commonality, as the name suggests, simply means replacing multiple parts with a single part, whereas universality means one size fits all, like unisex clothing or universal socket, which can be sold in different markets for different segments. Please remember that in component commonality, we are talking about changing one particular component of a product, whereas in universality, we are talking about the whole product, which is compatible with all the markets. One size fits all is an attribute of universality. But since universality is not given in the choices of this question, therefore, we will select standardization as the correct answer. This question is specifically designed. Please note, this question is specifically designed to boggle your mind, so you'll have to be vigilant while selecting the answer. Question 10. A design team modifies an existing clothing line by making the buttons used on one item work for all other items. This exemplifies which of the following? Option A, design for logistics. Option B, mass customization. Option C, component commonality. Option D, integral design. Let's evaluate option A, design for logistics. As the name suggests, design for logistic products are specially made for ease of transportation. Therefore, this is not an appropriate answer for this question. Option B, mass customization. We have already discussed mass customization in previous question, that it is the strategy of delaying final assembly of components into a final product as per customer specification or preferences, like a Subway sandwich or a personal computer. This is not the correct choice too. Option C, component commonality. Component commonality simply means replacing similar parts with a single part. Since question talks about using one button in all the other items, therefore this is the correct answer. I always suggest my students to evaluate all the options with me, okay? Even if you have figured out the correct one, since it will strengthen your knowledge and it will be easier for you to attempt other similar questions in exam. So evaluating other options is very important. Option D, integral design. Integral design is exactly opposite of modular design, in which all of the components are designed to work together in one specific product. You cannot make any changes in the product as per your wish and will. For example, Apple computers have integral design, whereas personal computers have modular design, because you can easily put in the things, the RAM and everything as per your specification or choice. Another example is school uniform and regular clothing. You cannot change school uniform, but you can wear regular clothes as per your desire. So option C, component commonality, is the right answer for question number 10. Okay, so this was the end of test 3. If you find value in my videos, please consider subscribing to my channel and pressing the bell icon. It helps with the algorithm as well as keeps me motivated. Thank you.